Hey guys, good to see you guys.
Hello. Hey, how are you?
Hey, let me ask you, Charles Kelly.
Yes.
You just going to town on a cough drop over there before we went on the air. Like it's like a horse eating corn, man. I've never seen anything like this before.
It helps your voice. So like it's early morning singing. I got a whole pocket full. You want one?
But is this a thing? Like you're not sick, you just have a lot of cough drops.
Yeah, no, I do a cough drop. Literally our assistant that comes out. I mean, she's got a thing full of cough drops, some hot teas, and different things like that kind of help you, your voice.
Every person we travel with out in that room has a cough drop in their pocket,
For
ready
him.
to go when Charles asks.
Hillary's gotten on the cough drop train too, though.
I do.
She does.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest train. I've heard of some trains. That's the weirdest train. The cough drop train. That's a weird one.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you got like a little crud in your voice or just anything that opens it up, it's effervescent.
Oh,
nice word.
So it's just a singing thing, and you
I'm
do
not
it
sick.
constantly.
There's no COVID over here, my friend.
Because I would have moved you to that room.
Yeah.
We'll do satellite you, and these two will stay in here.
No, it's just a thing, man. It's honestly too. It's like it's now just become like a ritual, so to speak.
It's interesting with you three because individually, I really love all three of you. And I feel like I have a different relationship with all three of you individually. And then you come in and I don't know who I really want to talk to. So I'm just going to kind of go down the line here and talk to each of you a bit differently.
Right.
Charles, one more question for you. And that's not really a question. It's just a statement. We were backstage, and I'm telling the show this. You already know this. We're backstage at the Opry, and Charles was performing, and I was performing, and my wife was with me, and I believe it was Charles' first time to meet my wife. And Charles, he'll just say whatever he thinks whenever he's saying. He goes up to her, and she's not pregnant, and he goes, "When you having a baby?"
Yeah, I did.
And she was like, the tall guy just asked me a really weird question.
Well, I just figure y'all got married. I said, when's this baby train starting?
Everything's a train. There's a cough drop train, the baby train. We're choo-chooing all day long around here. Okay, so Lady A is here. Hillary, good to see you.
Hi.
I was thinking about you, and mostly it's kind of your relationship with fame, because it is such fame is weird. And I've only been able to reach out and kind of touch it occasionally. Like I've had a weird career where occasionally I'm cool and then kind of you go back to just being normal. But for you guys, and you especially with growing up with a mom who is in the business and had her fame and her talent, you guys blowing up, taking a break, coming back. And even, again, you and I at a different time were talking at the Opry about you just walking out of Target and somebody being so surprised they saw you just walk out of Target. What is fame to you and your relationship with it now? What have you learned about what it means to actually be famous?
That's a really good question, and I might need to think about it for a second. First, off the top of my head would be my relationship with it has changed over the years, I think, and that's natural. I mean, we're 16 this summer into being a band. It's a little bit different now with kids, but I think as I've gotten older, I consider it, a privilege and an honor, and I kind of take the platform pretty seriously, and really because I just want to be a good example for my girls. But ultimately, what I'm learning is the older I get, the more work that I do, the more normal my life is, the happier I am. So I'm going to go to Target. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to do those things because they're fun for me. And I love being able to engage with people who either just, hey, that your daughter has on a really cute dress, or, hey, I really love that song that you sing. Like, however conversation starts in public spaces, I welcome it because it's fun.
Do you, and again, I have now an understanding that may change, that especially fame, or it's just not real. It's awesome, it's awful, but in the end of the day, you can't touch it. It's not real. It goes away.
Yeah.
It just isn't something you can depend on.
Right.
And that's got to be tough, especially when you're young, because you guys got famous young, quick, boom, you're massive stars, international stars. Was that ever a struggle for you as a very young artist?
I feel like we were talking about this just a couple minutes ago. There's a bit of being in a band together. When we travel together, we get recognized a lot more. And I would say Charles gets the brunt of it just because he's 6'6", and he walks into a room or walks through the airport and he's tall. So there is some anonymity that comes with being in a band when we're separate from each other in places. But it is, I mean, you're bringing up a really great point. It's a strange thing that is ever changing because, in the prime of like when Need You Now came out and when we did our first arena tour, I mean, it was happening a lot more often, getting recognized out in public and all of that. But that's why we live in Nashville. Everybody's pretty cool
There's a certain
here.
amount of like, it's like you can tell they kind of know, but they don't really know. They're like, you might be in a little big town. You might be. They just kind of like, I know you. And
Familiar.
it's very different than like, like when I'm hanging out with like Thomas Rhett or Luke and you're out somewhere and it's just constant. We kind of get this perfect little spot where we get to feel like rock stars and then get off stage and like
together, you get to be really freaking famous. And then apart, sometimes you are, sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
Depending on that's pretty cool. It's like us on the show. When we only go to dinner together, we don't eat. It's
Yeah.
all of us at once,
Yes.
or we just don't. Dave, I'm going to come to you in a second. Hold on a second.
You need a cough drop.
Cough button.
Seriously.
I've been never being sick myself. Dave, I'm going to come to you in a second because I got an even deeper question.
Oh, no.
It's about the existence of time and Earth.
Oh,
so we're
okay.
going to come
The
to that in a
continuum.
second.
Yes.
Yes. But I do want to talk about the brand new song that came out here because it's special whenever they bring a snow cone truck to the studio at the butt crack of dawn. And they were like, there's a snow cone truck outside. And I was like, is there a bomb in it? And they were like, no, Lady A sent it up. So we had snow cones this morning. And the song is called Summer State of Mind. And I'm assuming that there's the tie in there. It just wasn't a random snow cone truck.
You got it.
Yeah.
It was the
First official day of summer.
Softest snow cone ice I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So this song, and if I'm right here, Dave, you and Hillary wrote this one with a couple of other folks.
Yes.
So when you go into a room, because there are writing sessions where you're like, somebody's sad, somebody has something that they really want to get off their chest, maybe we can write a song about this. But when Summer State of Mind comes up, do you go into the room going, guys, we need like a fun summer song that lets people just go, like what is this vibe?
I mean, honestly, I was down at the beach earlier this year, and I had sent a guitar idea to Sam Ellis and to Charles and Hillary too. And I was just like, I don't know. When I was at the beach playing guitar, literally just out on by the beach, and I sent it to Sam. And then we got to the room, and he was like, "Man, what about with that guitar idea, something like Summer State of Mind?" And we were like, "Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun." Charles actually, his son got sick, and he was unable to make it that day.
This song's gonna make so much money publishing Charles. Sorry, buddy.
Every time, it's either I'm at the golf course and I just decided, because I write a ton, and of course, like there's been a couple other occasions where it's like the one time it's like, oh, I'm going to play golf, and this case my son was a little sick.
He was sick,
and I didn't come in, and I walked.
He was a good dad. He was a good dad.
The very next day, and they said, check out this song that we just wrote, and I was like, you did it to me again.
But it's fun to write fun songs. I mean, we have we're starting to kind of just put out music just one song at a time for a while because we feel like we're in a different, people consume differently now. The next song we're putting out is totally different feel wise. It's more like a kind of sad, introspective kind of Lady A kind of ballad thing. But I don't know. It's fun to write these fun songs. We're all out touring again and kind of doing the deal at festivals and fairs, and this song feels great in those rooms too.
When you had traveled back from the beach, like you were just saying, into a dreary, stormy Nashville day. So a lot of times I think when we're in the writing room, sometimes you want to even just escape from the weather of where you are. I mean, and that song just really emoted, like the track that you and Sam built. It was like, oh, we're going to go somewhere warm today, whether it is here in Nashville or not.
It's like when we've done our Christmas album in summer.
Yeah.
You're like, you have to make your
still have to bring in the
change
vibe.
headspace.
I think Hillary had mentioned that Charles, when he walks to an airport, gets recognized. Charles, you don't go to airports? Not normal person airports at this point, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You fly,
Guys, we are
yeah.
A-list on Southwest.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I mean, listen, I think the quickest way to go broke in our line of business is think it's going to last forever and spend $2 million on private planes all year. I just think, for us, it's like, I don't know. We always feel
Well,
like
and we split everything three ways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we do private planes too, I mean,
So then you get mad at Charles if he takes a plane and you guys fly Southwest?
well, I will say it's definitely makes it a lot easier to justify when you do split it three
Yeah,
ways.
that's true.
But that's why I never do it. By ourselves, but it's just I don't know, man. I learned early on I got too much of my dad in me. I mean, to me, it's like just you never know how long and the thing's gonna last, and it's like I want to take care and have something to leave my kids and stuff. And anytime you start to figure out how much you could spend on private planes. It's just too much.
My final summer question, because then I got some stuff for Dave here, but Charles, I'm going to come to you one last time. Once,
One last time.
Yeah, one last time. I was at a charity auction and I bid to go stay in like your beach house.
Oh, yeah.
And I lost by like $10. And I know, it's just sad. Then I was like, how weird would that have been if I wouldn't have told him? And then I was just texting him from the house, being like, bro, is this your play? I thought that would have been hilarious, but I didn't win. And then your wife kindly at one point reached out to me. I was like, hey, do you want to just stay in the house for free? And I was like, I could have done it for free. But my point with those two stories is, as big as celebrities as you guys are, I would like people to know that you're as normal and nice of folks as you can be, still being big stars. And that's my point with that little intro there. Is that it's odd that you guys can be so normal and nice and lovely individually as successful as you are.
Thank you.
Because that doesn't happen.
Well, thank you.
a whole
I mean,
lot.
Thank you.
My wife, we actually just hosted a St. Jude dinner at our house last night.
Didn't get that invite though.
Yeah,
Funny I hear about it now. Yeah.
But no, it's. I think we learned early on too about just giving back and charity. We started, all our heroes did that, and I don't know. It's amazing how it's just kind of as we've had with our families and kids. It's just something we're passionate about. But thank you, I appreciate that.
Hey Dave, we have a group dynamic here with you three.
Yeah.
You guys have been together a long time, and I can tell you from experience myself, we've had a group dynamic where me, Amy, Lunchbox, we've been together for how long? 15 years, 16 years?
I'm 16. Lunchbox is probably
So
19.
we've been together a long time. For you guys, what has been the key? And I would not like an answer like communication, because that's always what's the key to marriage? Communication. All right, I don't. Yeah, I get it. I know what that means.
Yeah.
What's been the key to staying together, even though sometimes you don't always want to stay together? And I mean that you love each other. We love each other, but it's not like we're not real humans and don't fight. And at times, we have to because we're so close. What's the key to staying together over a long period of time?
Great question. Gosh, we've done a lot of work over the years. I'm not going to use communication, get on that train. But I mean, honestly, I think we have such a respect for what the three of us have when we get in a room together. I mean, we're touring a lot right now, and we always talk about, we've been a band for 15, 16 years. We often play like the first song we wrote, and it just takes me back to that room. Like when we walked in, something was different and special there. And I just feel like no one can take that away from us. When the three of us step into a room to create something, I know we can. That's just where we're great. That's what we do. That's what we love. We feel called to do that. So I think it's a respect and a remembrance of that, which gives us the fuel to kind of like power through the times when it's tough. Somebody's in a tough season. Some of the other ones kind of, we pull each other along. I mean, honestly, we literally have like seasons where one of us may be really struggling and the other two are kind of like there and supportive, and we're listening or present with each other and trying to lift each other up. So I don't know, but it all comes back to me to just the respect of each other's talents, what they bring to the table, what we all have when the three of us kind of step into a room together.
Is there and with us, I communicate with Eddie different than I do Amy. Amy, if I send Amy a one-line email and I'm like, hey, that was good, do this. And that's all I'm thinking, but she needs to be talked to with some extra sentences and shown a little extra attention. That's our communication style.
Yeah.
With Eddie, I can do the same thing, and we just talk to each other different, although we're close in different ways. Are there different communications that you guys have individually, and this is how I communicate with
have
Hillary?
it down. I mean, we know it so well now. Yeah.
What?
I'm the fastest. I literally just say what I think immediately, always, and I do it in emails and have to come back and
Same thing.
And like Hillary, she's somewhere in the middle, and Dave is really like sits back. I mean, and sometimes to where it's like he won't answer an email. I'm like, he doesn't like the idea. He doesn't do it.
That's how Amy is with me. She's like, you must hated it.
My mind starts racing and going, I knew it. I knew Dave wasn't. And then finally he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was taking my kids T-ball. And you're like, And I'm like eight paces down the road thinking,
Yeah. I feel like we've learned it so well. It does feel like a marriage. I mean, we know it like the back of our hands now. We've got it all figured out.
Has there been a time when you guys have, and I'm going to ask you two of these, and I'm going to have you play a few songs if you don't mind, but has there been a time where you've written a song together, two of you or three of you, and you go, that's fine. I mean, it was just okay. It was an okay song, but it ended up being a really massive song for you guys. Like you left the room and you're like, I don't think it was that good, but at least we did something.
You're never going to know.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's
Need
the
You
biggest
Now.
ones. Need You Now.
So you didn't feel special right after you wrote it?
I would say Run
No.
to You too.
Nope.
Like we walked off, I was like, man, that's a really, really poetic song, but I was like, it's too heavy. It's not the hookiest thing I've ever heard in the world. I mean,
Next
those
thing
two
you know.
songs, they're like two of our biggest.
Yeah.
So that was not hooky?
I don't know. None of us walked out of that room though thinking we had written a hit song.
Yeah.
Well, and especially with Need You Now, it was just a very stripped, basic work tape. And it was the second song we wrote that day. And so I think, we were just, it had been a bit of a long day.
Do you remember the first one we wrote?
I do.
Yeah, that was
It was
not
called
good.
like Young Love or something.
It was called Young Love.
Not good.
And we were just, it was like so forced. It was like trying to write a hit song with Need You Now. It was like, it just came out.
It came out in like an hour and a half. And then we go into our label meeting. And thankfully, Charles leaves no stone unturned when it comes to like, we've written all these songs. It was the last song we played in the label meeting. And they said, you've got to go in and try this. And we're like, really?
Yeah.
And then we got in there with Paul Worley, and the rest is history. I mean, and then that was the only song that when we brought the label in to play them, like the first 6 or 7 off that record, when we cut them, that was the only one they asked for us to play over. And so we were like, oh, okay, maybe we're on to, maybe we hit something.
Yeah.
Did that teach you that after you create, you're maybe not in the best place to actually evaluate what you created?
Yes.
We always lean on
Yes.
our team. I mean, I think that's the biggest example. It says another thing too, why we say like, put your pride and your self-worth in the process, not the outcome. Because certain songs don't work that we thought were going to be big hits, and other ones do, and you're just like, you can't control that. And it's just enjoy the process of writing songs and put it out there. And
And they all serve a purpose, like a real profound purpose. It either breaks you through to the next one that was really meant for that time, or it is the one. It really.
You never know.
They all have a journey.
Well, I listed my top 3 Lady A songs of all time, and that's actually number 3, Need You Now. Coming in at number 3, they're going to play it live here on the countdown. And you guys have a guitar, and you're so gracious to sing this early in the morning. Here is my number 3 favorite Lady A song. It is Need You Now.
Oh, I love that you're
I'm surprised it's number
requesting
3.
because that's the name of our tour is Request Line. So we're getting requests from you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See?
Yeah,
All right.
I love it.
I'm going to have requested Machine Gun Kelly next, so be ready. All right. You guys have 11 number ones that I have here on the list, which is it's so many songs, and it's got to be difficult to put a set together at times because you want to get them all in. But I didn't look at the list when I was picking my favorite songs. And what I picked here at number 2 was not a number 1, which again reminds me of it's not always about what's number 1 that ends up lasting in people's hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so true. I mean, Love Don't Live Here was number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think You Look Good went to 3. Like Dancing Away. We've had a few that are like 2 or 3. You know who has a lot of number 2s, believe it or not, is George Strait, if you ever look that up, which is wild. I mean, the guy's had like 50, 60 number 1s, but then think of he's probably got like 20 number 2s, just weird stuff like that.
That's a weird tour, though. All the number 2s.
All the number
Not playing any of the number 1s. The cowboy comes back with only number 2s. We are celebrating this song, Summer State of Mind, from Lady A.
You put the ravens over my eyes. You put the blue back up in my sky. On the beach or the breeze, and you put me in my summer state of mind.
So that song is out, and I want you guys to listen to it all summer long, and only that song. That's the only song that they can listen to as of today. So you guys are here, and we're gonna do my number 1 song from you guys in a second. But I wonder, when you guys, you're all, such wonderful singers. Charles, how do you warm up before a show? What do you do specifically?
Well, Run to You specifically is one of those. It used to be Love Don't Live Here before like Run to You was a single, but I always know if I can go full voice into that falsetto, then my voice is in good shape. And then if it isn't, I have about a 30-minute panic attack, and I'm drinking hot tea. I'm doing the neti pot, and
By falsetto, that's the
But
high.
so,
Yeah.
I run.
Yeah.
So, and then I do like,
Go to the one
call
I
it the one and I need. And I was like, love don't live here anymore. And then that's it. And I'll literally do
Bobby,
that
this
down
is
the
all
hall.
day
Throw
long.
in,
All day.
It's not even a-
and
No,
No,
me
this
too.
is like everyone on our team can attest. This
Yeah.
is about 30 times a day.
Yeah,
all
everyone-
We
day.
probably all have it memorized.
I've been in a hotel room multiple times. I can hear through the pipes from another room.
Oh, yeah.
True story.
Yeah. I've got a lot of quirks. I mean, over the years too, they develop in this kind of thing where it's like these little routines kind of just happen. I mean,
Cough drops.
Yeah.
cough drops, hot teas,
Warm-ups.
warm ups,
Yeah.
push-ups to get your voice kind of, which is weird, that push-ups, but get your blood flowing. I don't know. It's just
But at
Hey,
this
it's
point in your
working.
career, you know what works for you.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
working.
And I can tell too, like right when like I'm about to have like a sinus infection or something, I'll go in and get like one of those little steroid shots, You know.
He knows himself.
Pro tip.
I do know.
You do that?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
you got to.
If you have a show and the show doesn't go as well as you had hoped, which one of you is the most upset?
Pretty much guess.
Is it you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And what if you have a great? Are you able to celebrate a great show
Oh,
too?
gosh,
Yes.
yes.
So you are the
Yeah.
You're up and down the most.
You're, I mean,
Okay.
listen, this is the guy. This is the
is
guy
like-
they chose.
And who is the most even keeled though? Who's the one who's like, all right, guys, Dave, it's you.
I can be even keel, but I get upset when there's technical things that happen in the show and something goes wrong. I mean, that upsets me. But I can still be like, see the bright side and everything. Like, I'm so grateful to be here.
But are you
It's
never
so
too
awesome.
high, never too low because it'll affect a performance? I mean, are you that linear thinking where, okay, I'm going to focus and make sure we get the best out of us and not get so emotional it affects us either way?
I try to let go of that. I think early on I was like that, but I've let go of that now. I just try to enjoy it, to be honest. I mean, like, we're at the point now, like, a lot of these shows, like, we're doing this request line tour in the fall. We're just going to take requests, and it's going to be different every night. And who cares what happens? I mean, when we just, like what we're doing today, just play songs, tell stories.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I love, and that's what we're actually getting to do. I'm not trying to segue, but that's what we're doing this fall.
Well, I had no idea that because I saw Request Line was the name of the tour. I had no idea you were actually doing that.
Yeah,
and that I was
basically-
doing this. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys thought that was on purpose.
No.
I literally was like, I've spent so much time with these
Yeah.
guys. Like, what can I do? And then I was like, well, I'll just be selfish and have them play my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what is happening on the
Yes.
tour.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do on the tour. I mean, we're going to we have a hotline people can call and leave a voicemail. We're going to build the set list around the requests. But then also, like, we've done a couple shows already where we just open it up to the audience. I mean, you don't get a chance to do that in a big amphitheater arena. I mean, but just to literally say, does anybody have any requests? People are yelling things out. You pick somebody out, maybe bring them up and just do a song and
You
talk
just
about
bring
it.
somebody from the audience to sing a song?
Just
Potentially.
Yeah.
potentially that, or
Oh,
if-
that's so.
Oh,
You
you know,
know.
let me tell you a story real quick before I get to my number one.
Okay, good.
I went to a Green Day concert once, and so they're who knows our songs, and everybody's like, I know the songs. I'm there, and I love Green Day. I grew up on early Green Day, still like Green Day, and so they're like, all right, we're gonna play. I'm having do you have the time to live? Brain Stew.
Yeah,
Brain
Stew is.
about a thing.
Is that no? What is it? Keep going.
That's Basket Case.
Basket Case, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, who knows Basket Case? And everybody's like, I know it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you gotta play the guitar. He's like, yeah. And so the guy takes the bass and goes, boom, boom, boom. He's playing the bass guitar. He takes the guy's bass. Boom. He's like, wow. And the crowd's going, yeah, bass guitar. He knows the song.
Yeah.
Cool. And the next guy comes up. He's like, who knows how to play it on drums? And the crowd, some guy's like, I know. You know how to play it? Cool. Guy on the bass. Boom, 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 boom. Guy on the drum. They've got it. They got two down. Boom, boom, boom. And the crowd's like, this is amazing. We're watching people come out of the crowd at a Green Day show, and they're gonna play Basket Case. Boom, 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 down, boom. The crowd. It's awesome. And I'm into it, and I paid to watch Green Day, but this is gonna be a cool moment.
Yeah.
And so Billy Joe, the lead singer, was like, all right. And the guys on the bass, he's just keeping the bass line going of the song. And don't forget, boom, boom, the drums are going, boom, boom. And like, all right, who wants to play lead and sing? And some guy's like, I do. And the crowd's like, oh, and the guy looks like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, gosh.
And so I'm like, is this a setup?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be. That's cool. Whatever. Just entertain me. I don't care. And I'm like, why? So it wasn't. So the guy gets up and the guy's freaking out, and you can tell he's so pumped to be on stage with Green Day. And Billy Joe's like, you know how to play? He goes, yeah. And so again, the bass, drums, they got it. They don't really stop. They're playing the whole time. And so the guy takes the guitar and he gets on the mic. Goes, you guys ready? And the guys are still playing doing it. And he goes, has no idea how to play it. It's awful. It is awesome. It's the great. And then he took the guitar from him and said, get off stage. And then he played that part, and it was amazing. So don't do that bit.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
it
do
didn't. So that's
Don't do that.
So,
Yeah.
but that would be cool if you brought people up.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
you never know. I mean, you gotta, especially too, like with taking requests in the audience. I mean, you can only do that maybe a couple times because it's, you get like
And then they won't stop yelling.
30
Everybody
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wants to
yeah,
yell.
and that kind of gets disruptive. And of course, everybody has to. Somebody's got to say "free bird." It just happens every time.
Yeah.
So the tour is going to be awesome, and today we are here celebrating the new song. Are you guys doing a video for Summer State of Mind?
We have,
Oh, you've already
yes.
done it.
Did
It's not out, is it?
No, comes out Friday.
Oh, thank goodness, because if it had been
Yeah.
out, I'd have been like, "You doing a video?" And awkward for everybody. Okay, so tomorrow it's going to be out. Summer State of Mind, the video. This song is out now. Summer State of Mind, and listen, I'll say it again, and I don't ever want it to get lost. That you guys are just really cool. Like I like you as people. You're also very talented as a group, but you're just cool folks, and I can appreciate that. And I would never ask you guys just to come in and perform because it's early, but they were like, "Do you want to perform?" And I was like, "I don't know if they want to perform. They're big stars." And they're like, "No, they'll perform." one time I said no, and Charles was like, "You don't want us to perform?" And I remember that, and I was like, "I'm never gonna offend Charles again." So
it's a great opportunity though, to like show people what we love to do. So
thank you, everyone. If they come to your town, you should go watch this. There's a number. You can go to their website and see the number to call and leave them a voicemail and go watch the Request Line tour, stream the song, and can't wait. Whenever you guys get the full body, you do a whole record.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, great. If not, whatever. You got a key to the place, so come by anytime.
Thank you.
All right. There they are. Lady A, everybody. Bye, guys.
You.
It's about